Welcome back to the Flippin' Ain't Easy channel. I had a heck of a day today. I wasn't meaning to make a video again, but I just find that eBay and in this case PayPal have definitely given me a lot of material, and it's something that was fresh on my mind, so I thought I'd get it out of the way and make a video today. So I'll discuss it on the other side. So without any further ado, let's go. I started my day in typical fashion. Wake up, check my phone, check my messages, check my emails. And I happened to receive an email this morning from PayPal. So the email that I received from PayPal stated that there's a chargeback, an $80 chargeback. The chargeback was for a Yale Nest front door lock that I had sold, and I believe it was in used condition, and worked perfectly. I had one on my door, my previous residence, and I was able to test this one out just fine. And so we're talking back on April 14th. And according to the PayPal email that I received, it stated that the buyer was claiming that they had not received the item. Now, I don't know about you, but most reasonable people, after say a week or two, would be calling the merchant trying to find out where my item is. They're not going to wait 5 months and then apparently they contacted their credit card company and decided to do a chargeback. And so any reasonable person would say, have they tried to reach out to you? Have they tried to reach out to eBay? Have they tried to, even in this case, reach out to PayPal? And the answer in all three of those cases was no, they didn't. So I called PayPal this morning. Thankfully, they have reps there that are able to answer your call, and was transferred to an agent who was going to try to help me. As it turned out, the email said not to worry because they have tracking information, right? But when I talked to the representative, she stated that they had the tracking number. Remember, 5 months ago, April 15th is when I actually shipped it out. However, they ran the tracking number through the USPS website, and it came back as an old number that's been recycled. So they stated to me that they have no proof to provide the credit card company that the item was actually shipped and, actually in this case, received by the customer. So I told her, I said, look, I have this information in my Pirate Ship account. For those of you who have Pirate Ship, all you simply need is the tracking number, the buyer's name, their address, any part of that, and it saves it in a database. So she gave me the tracking number. I input that information into Pirate Ship, and wouldn't you know it, there's an actual screen, shows the buyer's address, tracking number, the date the label was created, and it shows you a little status on the bottom of label creation, shipped, in transit, and received, and it stated it was delivered to the actual address, and it was delivered, I believe, on the 17th of April, okay, by USPS. So she said, well, that's a start. Go ahead and send that over to us. So I sent them a screenshot, and that's sort of where we're at. But they told me that because I had zeroed out my PayPal account because I wasn't using it, there's no need to keep money in there. And she said that $80 I need to actually pay, and if I don't pay, they're going to try to ding my credit, and I have a week to do it. So knowing that she said this takes up to 90 days to resolve, and I'm not really all that confident that a screenshot's going to be enough for a credit card company. But really, I don't know if PayPal is going to fight for me. This happened to me before last year. I had a pair of AirPods that I sold for $125 to a eBay buyer who had zero feedback, and they bought the item, never sent me a message. So as soon as they received the AirPods, they opened up an item not as described case, not through PayPal, but through their credit card company directly. and they never made an attempt to contact me. They never made an attempt to contact PayPal, sort of like this particular situation. And in that particular case, it kind of got drawn out over beyond 90 days. And the end result was they got to keep their item and they got to keep their $125. And I got stuck with absolutely nothing. So I don't have a whole lot of confidence here. That particular situation really makes me feel that PayPal is not going to fight for me and not going to have my back. So that must mean that eBay managed payments is a whole lot better than PayPal, right? Well, maybe in that regard, because remember, I dealt with managed payments with a chargeback of $1,200, provided a lot more information, correspondence with the buyer and pictures and things like that. I was successful in beating that one for $1,200. You can click on this link right here and it'll tell you all about that particular doozy with that particular scammer. So what I did today after I got off the phone with PayPal, I really wasn't in such a great mood, but I needed to reach out to FedEx. And the reason why I had to reach out to FedEx, and I'm going to digress here just for a minute because this is sort of the order of how my day went. So for those of you who may have watched some of my previous videos, I sold a coffee maker, an espresso machine that was sent out by Federal Express, and the last report was somewhere in Tracy, California. The buyer is in Stockton, and it's in Tracy, California on the 11th of September at their facility, and no other update since. And so when I spoke to FedEx a week ago, they said, give it 5 days. After a week of non-activity, we consider that item as being lost. So I reached out to FedEx, and of course, they weren't helpful at all. They basically told me, they tried to transfer me, and whoever they were trying to transfer me to wasn't picking up. They advised me to put in the claim online. I guess what happens is after I put a claim in, it's an $80 device as well. After I put a claim in, then what happens is after 7 days, if it's still not received, then they will process a check out to me. I don't have a lot of trust in these kind of things, these processes. When a company tells me it takes about 7 days, I'm willing to add about 10 weeks to that number. Just knowing how corporate America works and being involved in corporate America and being involved in a large corporation for 26 years, I can tell you that any idea of a claim being processed for me 7 days after I file the claim is probably very optimistic at best. So if any of you out there have had lost packages with FedEx and have had to file a claim with them, please leave me a little remark down below and let me know how that turned out for you. So the buyer's been pretty good about this. Immediately she wanted a refund when this first went down, but through being proactive with the customer and just talking back and forth, explaining to her that I have a process that I have to follow here with FedEx and with eBay, that it may take at least another week before I can give her a refund. And so hopefully, and her last response to that today was pretty positive. So I'm hopeful that she'll remain patient. A case has already been opened when she filed a non-receipt claim through eBay. They immediately, through managed payments, put a hold on that money. So at this point, I could give her a refund, but I run the risk, being that I filed a claim with FedEx. I'm sure that's going to light a fire under their butt because they're not going to want to pay off that claim. They're going to run a tracer and try to find this package. They find this package laying under a conveyor belt somewhere. They deliver it to her address, and I go ahead and give her a refund today. She's going to have the package and she's going to have a refund. And I find that customers usually don't take the time to send back the package. So she's going to get both the refund and her product back. And my claim will be denied because the item was delivered. So I let her know that, and she's all good. So before I made the call to PayPal this morning, I put in a request for a callback with eBay because when I was going through my managed payments, I noticed, and I was going through each payment. So you can go on under your payments tab in your Seller Hub, and you can go into payouts. There's a little link you can click on the left side, and you can then go into depth on each payout that you receive. And I suggest highly that you do this, because what happened is I went through and I had an Excel spreadsheet to try to help me keep track and add everything up. What happened was there's 2 dates that I showed a discrepancy. Actually, there's 5 dates, but once we worked it out with eBay, there's really 2 dates that there was a discrepancy. And when they called me back to go over these records to find out why I'm missing about $250 in payments, she admitted to me that certain dates this month, they've had technical issues, or what I call a glitch with managed payments, and they had to enter some of this data in, you ready guys? Manually. And so whenever you're dealing with something that's an automated process and then you bring in the human element into it, you're opening up the system for errors. And so we went line by line with a fine-tooth comb over the various dates that I saw that there was an issue. And one particular date, I had a return where they took out $128 out of my account. When I received the return from the buyer, there was an issue. There was a problem where they were missing the power cable. The item, they claimed it was not working, when in fact I opened up the printer tray of this. It's a printer. There's test pages that they ran that showed the model number, which matched the printer, and time-stamped the date and time when they actually had possession of the printer. So I don't know if they bought it to retain the cable. I don't know, but there's nothing wrong with that printer, and so I adjusted the refund for the return shipping, and I did not give them their outbound shipping, and I also adjusted it by about $15 for a replacement cable now that I have to buy. And of course, buyer accepted the return reluctantly, and when it went back into managed payments, it showed that $64 was taken out of my account. Now, mind you, they already withheld $128, but they put that $128 in manually. So it was never offset as a hold. It was more of just a refund. And so she saw that and she took note of it, and she's going to report that. And there's a $129 issue that I had as well that's somewhat similar to that on the 3rd of September. So I can tell you the 3rd of September and the 15th of September, they had to go in manually. And I don't know about any other dates, but she said they're having quite a few problems this month with this particular technical issue. So guys, what I would say to do is go through your accounting. You know, if you're running your business, this is part of it. You have to make sure that your numbers are right, because if someone's putting in the data manually, it's going to open up a possibility for errors. Now, of course, it had to happen to me. With everything that's going on this month, of course it had to happen to me. But it's possible that it could happen to one of you out there. And I'm hopeful that's not the case. But I just want you guys to be on the lookout. Check your account and see what's going on. I can tell you this. I never had such issues with PayPal. Never had to deal with anything being put in manually. When a payment came through, they were on it. They never deducted a hold on a return multiple times, and they never had to go and escalate this to someone who can actually do the accounting. And because I'm not able to talk to that person, who knows what they're going to decide. But as I saw today, my calculations show that eBay has shorted me $250. And the whole icing on the cake to this whole day, this morning I saw a little notification that came through my phone, and it stated that eBay had charged me almost $1,200. Now that just happens to coincide with what I was invoiced for eBay fees. Really, it's mostly FedEx labels that I bought through eBay. But my invoice date was the 15th of September. So this may apply to those of you who have sort of a cutoff on your invoice at the middle part of the month. It's sort of like 50-50. Some of us have the invoice at the end of the month. Some of us have the invoice date for the middle of the month. So mine's the 15th of the month every month. And what happens is, historically, I've had almost 2 weeks before the auto pay would kick in, where I would have a chance to use a different form of payment than my PayPal account, if that was what I wanted to do. Because I've taken all my money out of PayPal, I've recently, I think it was a couple weeks ago, put my Apple Card with my rewards points in as the actual auto pay so that I can take advantage of that. And apparently, by me doing that, I just upped the payment date by a week. So for those of you who have auto pay for your eBay fees set up with a credit card, I was told by this representative today that your fees are going to be automatically billed to you between the 23rd and 25th of each month. If you happen to have your fees deducted by PayPal, they don't deduct that until the 28th is the earliest they'll deduct that, between the 28th and the 30th. So it leads me to believe what I might do is I might go in and set up the same credit card to be my primary form of payment through PayPal, and set up PayPal as the payment method that eBay uses, so that it just buys me a little extra cushion to build up some more funds, especially the fact that, you know, I haven't had the best month, and the beginning of the month was pretty rough. You know, it would have been nice to have that extra week to be able to build those funds. Nonetheless, it is what it is. It's been charged to my account. There's nothing I can do, but I certainly, while I had that eBay rep on the phone, had to find out what in the world's going on, why all these months, over all these years, I've been charged at the end of the month. And in this case, it's only 1 week that I was given before the payment was taken, and not 2. So I just wanted to tell you guys about all of those things. There's a chance that, you know, many of you out there might find at least one thing I had to say very interesting, especially that whole managed payments thing. You know, again, the 3rd of September and the 15th of September are confirmed dates, at least by this representative. Her name is Martha, and she's out of the country of Colombia, working in managed payments. I don't know if she was supposed to tell me this, but she told me that at least on those 2 dates, and it's probably other dates as well, in this month, they have had to deal with some glitches or some technical issues where the payments weren't showing up properly in the pending column, and so not all the data is showing up. Before I go, I wanted to kind of go back to the whole situation that I had with that buyer who decided to put in a fraudulent, in my opinion, a fraudulent non-receipt of item through their credit card company. They go by the name of Driftwood, okay, just how it sounds, one word, Driftwood, and they have over 600 feedback. Their profile states they're out of UK. However, the mailing address that I shipped this item to is Newport Beach, California. So I would highly suggest, so that you don't get this person claiming this 5 months out where the tracking information's gone, playing the system to where they can win a case through their credit card company, block Driftwood from buying from you. And I even send a message to Driftwood and let them know that I will be outing them on my eBay channel because what they're doing is wrong. And I told them, hey, this could be a mistake. Please respond to this email. And of course, hours later, still no response. So this is intentional. I mean, I guess I didn't need to even send that email to determine that it was intentional. But again, if you want to save yourself a hassle, they bought over 600 items on eBay. Chances are they might be coming to you sometime down the road. Block Driftwood so that you don't have to deal with what I had to deal with today and what I'm dealing with, still dealing with this whole chargeback situation. So that's what I have today. Sorry for the long video. Really not trying to make these videos long, but I had a lot to say. And if I've helped anyone, please hit that like button, consider subscribing to this channel. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that notification bell icon, because only I think 10 to 15% of you have hit that notification bell. And when I come out with a new video, some of you might want to see it when it comes out. A lot of times I have something that I've discovered that I would want to share with any seller out there. So it's a good idea to make sure you hit that notification bell icon. So with that, I'm going to try to make a video here after the celebration that's here on Friday to share with you some of my thoughts and findings. And so until then, keep listing and have an excellent rest of your week. Thanks, guys.